me stop the music though, so I don't want to get. Joey, I'm already taking care of it. Hello? Oh. Okay. All right, bye. Don't hold me down. Oh, tell me that you love me. Everybody's coming for me. Everybody's coming for me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to pay the price. It's called price of doing business. Sometimes motherfuckers want to extort you. Okay. So there is this breaking situation happening out of Florida, my home state. I was trying to wait for Carmelo, but you know they're still organizing. So there's this active shooter situation here in Florida. That's Tallahassee, FSU. Let me see if I can pop up one of the videos while we wait. Somebody posted this video.
There's somebody there? Oh yeah, there's somebody there.
Active shooter. What the hell is that from?
There's somebody there?
Okay, we're waiting. We'll see. Stand by for a live event. News 10 is on the way. Okay. We're waiting for Carmelo. We're waiting for this active shooter situation. Active shooter opens fire. Florida State University campus. Oh, man.
Sometimes you gotta pop out.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Oops. The funny thing is we started to get an audience. We had like 1,600 people, but I think everybody will come over to watch both things at the same time. Active shooter event. This is breaking, happening now, live. I need to put something live on the screen, even though they're still going to ask. Is this live? It says live in the corner, live in the title, live in the red box. All of a sudden, I don't have a live button anymore. Okay, let me see if I get any other feeds. Florida, active shooter. Only one station up. I've been to FSU before. My sister went out to that school.
I did want to share this live look with you. This is on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. Take a look at this. It's a little hard to see, but you can see law enforcement running across the road onto campus. A large number of them. We're talking more than a dozen. Take a look at this if you're not looking at your screen. Dozens of law enforcement officers wearing what appears to be tactical gear, guns drawn, racing across this intersection right here as the university has reported an active shooter in the area of the student union. This is a live look from Tennessee Street and Woodward Avenue. This is the most activity we've seen since this breaking news was announced. Dozens of law enforcement officers now racing across this intersection. I did want to share this live.
Okay. Out of the union with a handgun. That person looked like a college-aged man. We have crews headed there right now We'll break into program once we get information. We are told that there are 4 victims at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital.
Wow.
We'll keep you updated.
Wow. That's the latest update.
I'm just blind, that's all.
I was like,
Oh, this is a hot mic. Got a hot mic moment.
I didn't know what it meant.
Okay. So active shooter situation. They're saying 4 victims right now. This is FSU. This is North Florida. It's a beautiful place. There is an active shooter. 4 victims. They're saying. I'd love to update the thumbnail. See if we can get something else. Major police response. Already 4 victims. 4 victims in the hospital. It's just nonstop with this stuff, man. Nonstop. Okay, there we go. Let me update the thumbnail a little bit. I don't see, by the way, I don't see any scanner. I think everything is like, a lot of the stuff is like encrypted now, man. So I don't see any scanner. I will look again for another, see if we get any other feed, any other updates. Let's see. Here we go. That's there. Yeah.
Good afternoon, folks. JB here with you from the Stream Center at WFLA News Channel 8 in Tampa, Florida. Welcome in. Our live stream now launching across all platforms for a breaking news situation developing right now at Florida State University up on the Florida Panhandle in Tallahassee for an active shooter that has been reported. This is a developing story. A lot of back and forth right now on social media about this story. We are working the phones. We're working, of course, all of our contacts at FSU. We're talking to people on the ground. This is clearly a situation where a lot of different pieces of information are being fired left and right. Keep it here and keep it at WFLA.com for information that we know to be verified and factual, because right now, as we understand it, there has been a lot of back and forth on social media, and a lot of it is contradictory and preliminary information that might not be rooted in reality. So we're going to keep it here, rooted in fact. That's what we're going to be doing on this particular live stream. But if you're just joining us, an active shooter reported at FSU, Florida State University. As of 12:09 p.m., police were on their way to the scene. This is a live picture here from Tennessee Street and Woodward Avenue. It is one of the few cameras that we have either on or near campus. We're trying to get some more camera feeds your way, any other visuals. For anybody that is actually at FSU and is in a safe place to be able to send in any pictures or videos right now that would aid our coverage, you can do so by sending it to WFLA.com/report it. But again, we encourage you only share anything that you might have, whether it's information or a picture or a video or whatever you have. Only share it if you're doing so from the safest of circumstances. Do not do so just for the fact that you're trying to get content on a news live stream. We're going to continue to monitor this situation, but right now this is the one visual that we have. The reported shooter was located in the area of Student Union, according to University Police. The alert went out. I'm going to bring up the alert here. It stated very specifically that people were to shelter in place and lock and stay away from all windows and doors. There has been so much misinformation in just the last 25 minutes.
Really?
Alone,
Already?
Fired left and right on various social media platforms. I think it's really important for our audience to remember that social media is not a highly credible source of information in a situation like this, unless it is coming from a page like FSU Alert. FSU Alert, which you'll be able to find on social media, is going to be able to give you information direct from university officials that are monitoring the situation and staying up to date with local law enforcement. So as we get more information, I'll continue to monitor the comments section, but if we have any developing news that we can absolutely report and be 100% sure of that it is accurate, we'll pass it along here on the live stream. Here in the Tampa Bay area, we know that there's a lot of folks that send their kids to FSU.
Yeah, man. So there was one user here. Let me pull up this over here too.
Morgan lived up to what they.
Let me see what else I can pull up. Pull up. One of the news stations had said that there was I wonder why it's playing here and not playing here.
We want to get right over to Local 10's Glenna Milberg. She's in the newsroom with what we know so far. Glenna, fill us in.
This is a terrifying time for people at FSU. This actually came out as an alert, an official alert from FSU that there was an active shooter and that there was an active shooter near the Student Union building. In fact, you're looking right now at the alert. So just
Okay, this is interesting. Oh, she's talking.
Rent continues to go up. You know, the property insurance crisis, all of that factors
Property insurance
to what we are dealing with, and so many people are hurting with this. And when we were talking about Florida ranking 4th in the state or nation, I was like, oh, I wonder why. And then
I don't know why they're not talking about the active shooter. Oh man, oh man.
YouTube audience to our Facebook.
Let's see here.
Breaking event there at a Wilmer Hutchins High School. Very preliminary information at this point, but you can see.
Starts in our communities and continues on in our schools.
Dallas is doing a press conference right now on that high school shooting.
Seattle. It's Seattle. It's all them. You know, they can't afford to rent those places, so it's a problem. The prices are high. The people.
All hell's breaking loose. I was trying to see if I could pull up anything on this app too. Nothing right now. There's some video live. Well, video from the area. 4 in the hospital. 4 in the hospital. Active situation out there. Okay. What else we got out there? My son sent me this photo he received from his old roommate in lockdown at FSU of the active shooter on campus. He's wearing 7 shot. He's hearing 7 shot, 1 deceased. I don't. Oh, she deleted the. Did she delete the picture? She deleted it. Maybe it was fake. She was getting ratioed. This photo of the active shooter at FSU is going around, and it's not him. Okay, so just a FYI, this is going around just for anybody. If you see that, that's not him. Maybe that's what WFLA was referencing, that like there's all this information going out that's not accurate. That might be one of them. That's not the shooter. This is from a different situation. This is from Maine. Okay, not the shooter. Oh boy. Okay, let me see what we got here. They're just showing this live cam. You can't really see much. WFLA is showing us. This is just like, this is right by the FSU campus. You can kind of see. Let me move myself out of the way. You see some of the roads blocked off. I don't know anything, like wondering about the situation of the suspect. No idea. The suspect alive, suspect dead. Mo in the Deep, thank you. Mo in the Deep, thank you for that. I think we got raided. We got raided. I think I'm like trying to do too much at one time. I'm all over the place. Today has been, within an hour, it's been a roller coaster.
All right, so we might be preparing a simulcast on broadcast as a result of, again, a developing news situation out of Tallahassee, of course, the capital here in Florida, the home of Florida State University. Hospitalizations have been confirmed by Tallahassee Memorial Hospital to WFLA News Channel 8 as a result of the active shooter situation. I want to be clear. We have to be, of course, very meticulous with our reporting. The hospitalizations have not yet been confirmed to be shooting injuries. It's a hospitalization, or I'll say hospitalizations in plural, as a result of the active shooter situation at Florida State University. We do not have confirmation that anybody has been shot. All we can say at this time is that people are hospitalized as a result of the active shooter situation that has come out of Florida State University. There's going to be a lot of questions surrounding this, and those questions include: is the suspect in custody? Are those hospitalizations
in the building? We have a blended of Dallas Police Department and
some about security.
Security for the Next Generation Action Network. Let me make this very clear because I say this unapologetically. The Next Generation Action Network has never played with the safety and security of anything. We don't play those type of games, all right? We like to, whenever we're doing a protest or anything, everybody in the media know we don't play when it comes to safety and security. So we're gonna ask one time for it, and ask you to slide over just one time. We're not gonna ask anybody something twice. Okay.
So what if you have to ask me twice? What are you gonna do?
The safety of this family.
You're gonna stab me too? What if I don't move the first time? What if I have a hearing disability?
I want you to know so that you can quote it. If we have to ask more than once, just know that's coming at the direction of me. You can quote me on that. All right?
Why they come with such an attitude already? I don't understand this. People are there to listen to the family, to, people want to, whether good, bad, disagree, agree. Everybody's giving an eye and a platform. And the first thing you come out with is nasty ass attitude. For what? For what? Don't let me have to ask you more than once. You don't want to know what's going to happen if it's more than once. We don't play those games here. What are you going to do? Right? What the hell, yo? Or just nasty. Look at his face. Maybe he's probably pissed off all the information that came out about him. The allegations that he beats children. Like, well, the allegations that the kid fell off the couch, but supposedly the doctor thought it was more. They have made allegations that like he had hit that girl's kid or something. And then there was some other thing that I saw, some article that said allegedly he had been strangled some lady too. One of his exes or something. So maybe he feels like he has some type of, he's probably really pissed off, you know. I just don't understand why it has to be so nasty. The volume ratio between you is too loud. I can fix it. When he comes back on, I'll fix it. Maybe I can turn mine down a little bit, but maybe I'll have to adjust it. Oh, maybe the knobs are too high. Let me see. Is it at 39? I'll turn it down a little bit. I'll try that. I don't know if that's too low, but I'll adjust it. Okay, so we're covering two situations at the same time, guys. Okay, so I'll try to organize a little bit. There's an active shooter situation and there's a press conference happening. Carmelo Anthony. Let me see something else real quick. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna move away from this right now. We're going to have these two cameras up, the active scene, and also the Carmelo thing whenever they start.
Hey, Brad, Scott. Hey, I think the desk is wrong. They said they were looking at the feed, but there's no audio. I think it's on.
Don't make me tell you twice, or else. Metcalf Stats there? You shouldn't be confused, baby. If you've been watching me and you follow me, baby. This is Carmelo Anthony, the story that everybody's been talking about for the last 2 weeks. The family's doing a press conference, and there's an active shooter situation that's happening in Florida right now at the same time.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, all right.
People are going to war over this Carmelo Anthony story. Fix this a little bit. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, you gotta make it black, Mel. What's that mean? What does that have to do with it? All right. Okay, so I can mute that right now. I'm going to try to find some updates on the active shooter situation, and I'm adjusting the screen a little bit, so hopefully there's not like confusion, so much confusion. Okay. Active shooter. Everything is live, by the way, if you're wondering. Is this live? Is this live? Everything is live. We're three-dimensional right now. Okay. Now, let me see if I can find some new information about this active shooter. There's reports about there's supposedly four people hospitalized. I don't know if they were shot. I don't know if they tripped and fell, whatever related to this situation. It's a big scene. I've been to this campus before because my sister graduated from there, and it's a nice area. It's a nice area. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find some other stuff. We got a reporter about to talk right now. Let's see if I get any other stations. I like the background. Oh, here we go. All right, we got some options. We're waiting on somebody else. This other guy might start speaking. Let me set this up too. Okay, somebody's gonna talk right there. Kind of frozen too. I'm gonna refresh this. Oh, he's getting ready to talk too. Everybody's ready to talk.
Athletics events scheduled for Thursday have been canceled. Right now, we're not entirely sure the state of those victims. As you mentioned off the top, we understand 4 victims were confirmed to have arrived at TMH a short time ago. And I'll tell you, Ava and Lenitra, from our journey down from the north side of town to FSU's campus, we saw multiple Tallahassee police cars, including a Leon County ambulance as well, speeding towards the south. So right now, again, no travel anywhere near this part of town. If you were thinking about traveling to this side of Tallahassee, I strongly recommend you don't. I'll also point out we have a helicopter above us right now.
Helicopter.
Of course, we're not sure if anyone's been captured, if there's anyone in custody right now. The last note from the FSU alert was for everyone to remain sheltered in place.
Get some water.
I believe, correct me if that's been
Don't
updated,
leave.
as you guys back in the studio are getting more frequent updates than we are here at the ground. And I'll leave you with this. We understand there's a media staging area that's going to be set up near the Tucker Center in the near future. Hopefully at that point, we'll be able to get some answers from law enforcement and FSU brass. So Lenitra and Ava, that is the story right now. We understand our Stacey Inez is going to be heading to that staging area in a moment. So a concerning scene here, and I will say it's static. I don't see a lot of action. I don't see any law enforcement running around. Everyone does seem to be standing in place. I don't see any students or faculty running around. We've seen a few slowly leave campus. I've asked them, how are you? Are you okay? And everyone's kind of nodded, but everyone does seem kind of shell-shocked right now. So again, it is 12:51. This has all happened less than an hour ago, right here at the FSU Student Union. And for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, and so as you heard, Jacob, you saw him there on the scene. Yeah. Still a lot going on as far as the presence of law enforcement. We have several crews out there right now and those headed that way.
That's right, and I did hear from somebody who lives on my street here in Tallahassee. They said that they are at FSU. They are still sheltering in place. They did get a follow-up alert from FSU that said the situation does remain active. Now, Cody Butler is there as well. Let's check in with him. Okay, we are going to check back in with him in just a moment. So going over back what Jacob just said, all classes and university events obviously canceled today. Yes, he's urging everyone, please do not try to go to that area, drive anywhere around that area. It is completely blocked off. There's a huge law enforcement presence there right now. 4 victims reportedly at TMH.
That's right.
And we don't know if there are more victims, but right now there are 4 at TMH. And I guess this happened at the Student Union about an hour ago.
Yes, they got that alert from FSU on campus. That alert said it happened around noon from near the area of the Student Union. Now, we have not heard anything as far as a suspect or who this person is at this time, arrest or anything. Now, we just got word that we have Cody now. Cody is staged near Dewey and Tennessee Streets, so we'll go ahead and check in with him. Cody, what can you tell us at this time?
Yeah, Lenitra and Ava, this intersection is still very active. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see that there are state highway patrol troopers here stopping traffic at this intersection. They're not letting any traffic through.
Mr. Attitude's about to talk. All right, we're going to keep following the standoff, but let's see what they have to say. A lot of people have been waiting for Carmelo Anthony's family. It's supposed to be the family speaking.
Okay, I'm going to spread this across y'all before I get started.
And I'll fix the volume too for them talking. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit.
Just make sure you let me know if any one of your cameras are One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. We all good? We all good? Okay. All right. I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we've seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words.
It's really unbelievable to see one of our closest allies descend into this authoritarian form of liberalism and socialism, where they are locking people up for X posts, Facebook posts.
All right, sorry about that. I got it now.
Beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf.
Oh,
because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister,
he's a minister.
I will not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting non-stop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit.
not just as an advocate, but as a black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund.
Oh, here we go. I knew it was going to be the first thing.
From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Carmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go. Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, in private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Carmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before.
So I'm going to pause it for a second. What I heard happen in the beginning of this, and we'll rewind this after. This is what I heard. I have to confirm. I don't know if it's true. Metcalf's father showed up to this thing. And listen, the Metcalf family, I think they've been nothing but respectful. People are still attacking them. They've been nothing but like nice and like whatever. Anyway, the father showed up, which maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe he shouldn't have to this thing because these people are, some of them are vile. And supposedly somebody called the cops on him. And so he left. Now, what I'm getting, I could be wrong. This guy feels that the father should not have been there. Maybe he shouldn't have. I don't know. With this type of shit, there's no talking to these people. I don't know. And then now there's the Give, Send, Go stuff. So New York Post posted it. I did post it as well after I saw the article, and a lot of other people as well. TMZ reached out to the family, and TMZ reached out to the Give, Send, Go CEO, I think, and they said supposedly that they hadn't taken the money out. Cinema Shogun made a point of like, well, the family's probably using the money that they personally have, but they'll replace it with them. Whatever you decide, but this is the whole thing that's happening. And so he's saying it's not true. The money's still in the account.
Could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
No, I agree with what Cinema's saying, that, you know, you can use whatever money you have in your pocket, and at a later point, use the funds for that. But to be fair, on the Give, Send, Go, it
All
says
of the
they can use it on whatever they
funds
want.
that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Carmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Carmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Carmelo
Haley's
Anthony
comment
doesn't
donated
have to walk.
$5 through Super Chat.
He doesn't
Show
have
them
to
hearts for Austin.
involve in
Blue
any
heart.
senior activities. But Carmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate. Okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the records, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay?
Jen DeLeon donated $5 through Super Chat. The Metcalf family needs Eddie Tony Busby.
Tony Busby.
Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop.
Candy donated $9.99 through Super Chat.
Inbox,
Justice for Austin.
All of that.
Blue
That's
Heart.
the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you. Okay? So I'm telling the world. Everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody. Unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds
Sean Angel
or
donated $5 through Super Chat. This guy Depp went to a few Diddy parties.
Okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school. She raised
all
her
of a sudden,
family.
it's her
She did
constitutional right.
everything. I'm a registered Democrat. Proud.
Attack you if you vote anything else.
I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright disrespectful. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Carmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, why couldn't Carmelo Anthony be entitled? A child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home. Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay?
More.
Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Carmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today,
that's it.
I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know. I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm going to just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't got to inbox to me. You ain't got to tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story.
All in the name of Jesus.
I'm going to bring this mother.
That's the mother now.
Kayla Hayes. And it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today. And I want you guys to respect her as she read this and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, We wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband works hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children,
Laura.
my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
That's not true.
We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Y'all, I'm going to show something up of a post. You come for me, I come for you.
Oh, Sarah Fields. Oh, shit.
Never heard of this one.
Oh, I've seen her on Twitter.
Kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with.
Oh, God, is one is going to be me on there?
Political operatives
Sarah Fields.
motivating this family with hate.
Oh, shit. What did she post, though?
Carmelo Anthony posted.
What's that?
On something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family.
I can't really see it though.
Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies.
Oh, the AF.
She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah.
Oh, Sarah Fields.
She's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on,
but you didn't really.
I asked, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had.
Oh, God. Oh.
Daniel Pender. And all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was, he should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody says anything. So since they tried to come
they did
for
say
us,
something about Kyle.
I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided.
AR-15,
And
you say AK-47.
I'm going to say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I have seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today, and I want to thank them for their presence, because this family needs strength right now. Thank you, and God bless you.
Okay, so no questions either. The one thing, I mean, there's a lot of thoughts in my head, but I know we have an active shooter situation. I think next time I'm going to handle this multi-story thing differently. Maybe next time we'll jump to the active shooter thing, and then we'll save Carmelo for, like, if it's, for example, the Carmelo, we do it after or something. I think I lost almost like 2,000 people, but I was just really curious to see what they were going to say. The one thing, though, I have to say at the beginning, I was trying to understand what was going on, and I think he was talking about the Metcalf father, this guy. And then we'll get back to the main story here real quick.
Started. Make sure you let me Testing. Something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference.
They're talking about Metcalf dad.
The father being at this press conference.
Right.
These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
That's wild. That's so wild. But I also can't really disagree with him either. Maybe it's not that wild. Listen, the Metcalf family, they're being nice. They've been trying to be respectful. And now they're showing up, the dad, to this family press conference. You got to stop with all this niceness shit. I don't know what's going on. The situation with your son, the whole situation is screwed up. Focus on your family. There's a lot of people that support you. This whole catering, and I don't know what he's doing. I'm not in that position. I don't know what it is. And this guy is nasty. I feel like the way he talks sometimes, I don't know, maybe the shit he's been through. I don't know. But the whole thing is, Metcalf's father showed up to this situation. That's what I heard. The father showed up. Supposedly the cops got called. This guy ended up leaving. So he's addressing the situation. And he's saying, you shouldn't be here. You should, and like that, like you're taking away from the dignity of your son that was murdered. That's crazy to say. That's what I'm saying. You got to stop with this shit of on your hands and knees, and no, it's not race, it's not political, and we're going to try to be nice and growl. I don't know what it is. Stop. And and take it to court. Do things the legal way, but like, it's got to stop with this shit.
To say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference.
The father being at the press conference.
These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked.
I think he went there because somebody said, Mel, do you have a kid? You obviously don't watch the channel. I do. They're like, what if somebody killed your kid? Don't you have the right to be there? Why would I want to be there at this situation in person? Maybe I'd watch it on the stream, but you know that people hate the Metcalf family, and you could say the other way around too. Maybe they hate the other. Why would you show up to a situation like this where people hate you? They don't want you there. And I don't think he showed up there because he was interested to hear what they wanted to say. I think he wanted to show up there to be type of like in solidarity and like just to know the Metcalf family supports you guys and all this type of shit. And now's not the time for that. To join in like handle this legally. You guys have a lot to deal with, but this whole thing, we're going to hold hands together with the killer of my son type of shit. If that's what it is, that needs to be that needs to be cut.
We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. The dignity. We have not shared the loss of Generation Action Network from the beginning of his son.
I just want to hear that one part again. Oh, they fucking cut it off. That was just wild.
To start off this press conference, a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
That's foul as shit to say that, yo. That's fucked up. That's messed up, yo. Wow. Wow.
Okay, good.
I haven't heard that.
Okay.
No, but
that is
it's still all developing. It's pretty intense out here. So we're
you're not wanted there.
We're
maybe he didn't know that. He's not. The family's not
see,
wanted there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that.
See
Someone
what
needs
the
to talk
outcome
with
is,
them.
I suppose.
Yeah, well, Mike X-Lion, photographer for the News Service of Florida, you've given us some good perspective there, and we appreciate you showing us around your vantage point there on Florida State's campus this afternoon. Really appreciate you joining us here on Fox 35 News Plus.
Absolutely, no problem.
Want to show you another image, this here from WCTV, and you can see more folks gathering outside on the campus there. On the phones, it looks like trying to reach some other people, and we've heard about the concern. Ryan talked earlier about having people reach out to him with questions, checking on him, and just natural concern in the moments after something like this, where there is still so much that we don't know. And Amy, I know you have had a lot of people reaching out to you as well, checking on your daughter.
It is really frightening. In fact, I'm having trouble trying to keep up with text messages from people wanting to know if Kate is okay, while still trying to monitor what's going on with the live news situation. But I'm also hearing from a lot of other parents. And here's the deal. Listen, there are basically 4 universities in this state that have the bulk of the kids, and you've got Florida State.
So one person in custody, multiple people injured. Let me try to get some of the latest updates on that. I guess next time I'll try to do it differently and leave Carmelo separately, because people wanted the live updates of the active shooter, not necessarily Carmelo. You know what I mean? I get it. Let me see. What's the latest with this active shooter situation?
Congregate during the day. This was right at lunchtime when we got this alert. 12:02 is when the alert came out. It is now 1:36. We have heard from Tallahassee Memorial Hospital letting us know that they do have patients there. We don't know anything about those patients. Sky News reporting that 4 people were injured and taken to the hospital, but we are seeing other reports and some breaking news alerts with totally different numbers. And again, at this point, we are waiting for any kind of confirmation from anyone who is in charge. And because there are so many jurisdictions involved, we really don't know who is taking the lead on this investigation. And so I think that is probably part of what law enforcement is also trying to figure out, because it sounds like the situation is probably bigger than any one entity. And so you've got multiple jurisdictions trying to work together. These are the types of things they train for. I mean, they do these types of do the tactical training usually a couple times a year, where they prepare themselves for a situation just like this. It looks like we've got Jamie Copenhaver also standing by, and Jamie's certainly an expert on all of this.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring him in. James Copenhaver, a former sheriff's detective and investigator. And
you're right about that too, Jen. Maybe we'll have to do a live later and talk more about it, but yeah, the father, Metcalf father, he said he forgave him. Jennifer said it's wild to publicly shame and disrespect the father of the victim who has forgiven your defendant. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you get mad at your kids for skipping class, and then you're so thankful on a day like today that she wasn't there. But her roommate was there. And James, I think one of the things that she told me was very disturbing, and the story was confirmed by this girl's mother, is that she was in a classroom inside the student union, that the professor left the classroom and left the students in there. This was a classroom that did not have locks on the doors, and the students said that they knew that this was an active shooter situation because they got the alerts on their phones, and so the students moved tables in front of the door to secure themselves until police finally came and got them and removed them from the classroom. I'm guessing that would not be standard protocol.
No, it wouldn't, Amy. And you know, shame on that professor for being selfish and leaving those kids in the classroom. But here's the good part, Amy. We've unfortunately seen this, and you and I have done this many times on your network. These active shooter situations at colleges and schools. And, you know, thank goodness our kids are smart today and they've listened to the leaders and they know how to react in these circumstances. And by this demonstrating their, you know, blocking that doorway for these shooters coming to that classroom is just, you know, my hat's off to these kids. God bless.
Yeah, this was the father being escorted out by police. He wasn't wanted there. Look, Annie, thank you for tagging me.
Space where the next gen. If you take a look at your screen
Pressure delayed after father Metcalf
now,
arrives.
what you are looking at is video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of the co-working space where the Next Gen Action Network's office is by Dallas Police. You see that there. Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses and the blue shirt, who's being escorted out, is the father of Austin Metcalf, who was the teenager who...
Yeah, they made him leave.
You got 20,000 kids on a campus on a busy Thursday afternoon. How do you secure something like that?
I mean, Amy, essentially what you're talking about is a city. It's a small city within Tallahassee, right? And here's the deal. These men and women of law enforcement, both local, state, and federal, they've upped their training game over the years, rightfully so. But you respond to it just like we saw today. I mean, you know, the cops on campus were there immediately. They had TPD arriving thereafter, and then, of course, accompanied by federal marshals and FWC. So, you know, you go towards that threat and, you know, the cops can only do the best they can do. And you isolate that area of concern, you move those kids out of there. But unfortunately, you may move them like we saw today in a classroom that really hasn't been cleared, that part of the building. So you do the next best thing. You move those kids again under armed security and you go clear that area, Amy, until, you know, it's kind of like whack-a-mole, if you will. You have to clear each section as methodically and smart as you can.
Jamie, the other thing, too, that, you know, Garrett and I were talking about, there's so many jurisdictions. You've got the FBI, you've got FDLE, you've got FWC, we saw was on scene. You've got the Florida State Police Department, you've got Tallahassee, you've got Leon County. How do they go about organizing all of this so that they're all on the same page, and who sort of takes charge?
Yeah, I mean, the school's going to be in charge of this case, or maybe Tallahassee PD. We just don't know that. But here's the deal. Communications and technology has advanced so much that all of these agencies now can be on one communication channel, which means it's an emergency, all hands on deck. And, you know, it's amazing to see all these cops from different agencies responding for a call of need, right? And they do it in somewhat of an orderly fashion. So, you know, the first thing they're going to do is set up a command center. I'm quite certain that campus police are manning that. Tallahassee PD is manning that. And then, Amy, as these agencies arrive, they'll stick someone in that command center to represent that agency so they're all on the same page.
Jamie, I want to ask we know that protocols for active shooter situations have evolved over the years. It seems like as different situations unfold and kind of different things kind of, you know, different holes are maybe uncovered and ways learned that things like this need to be responded to differently. I'm curious now what the kind of first steps would be as law enforcement respond now to a situation like this.
You know, as they respond to that scene, Garrett, your first and foremost is life. Along with, is the suspect in custody or is he still at large? So as you're looking for the suspect, you're clearing these rooms and these areas, you know, with the threat of a potential suspect ahead of you or behind the next door. So, you know, it's a juggling act to remove these students, but also in the same manner, go after the bad guy who's doing the shooting.
This network over here saying 5 dead.
Go ahead and try to secure that area. So these students are we're trying to take care of them. They're trying to take care of them as quick as possible.
Yeah, certainly heartbreaking. Yeah. I keep mentioning we started out with not much information, and just as time went on, we're nearing 2 hours here from when we initially got that alert to.
And one station saying 5 dead. Let me see if I can get some more confirmation on that. I only saw that on one station. I guess numbers are fluctuating.
Well, all right. I'll just have you stand over here. We might have to adjust depending upon police traffic, but I'll just have you look at me.
Okay.
Know when you're all set. Yeah. All right. I'll have you first say and spell your name.
Michael, Michael. Last name Price, Price.
5 people.
And you said your daughter's a student here?
My daughter is a student at Florida State University as of January 6th of this year. True freshman.
Freshman, wow. So, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, we got a call from my daughter before it hit the news. We've been on the phone with her for over an hour ever since. As a father, my wife's in the car and a mother, we are concerned for our daughter, but at least we're talking to our daughter and know that she is safe. Our hearts and prayers and minds are to anyone who's possibly had a child or a relative who's been injured or possible loss of life. And as a new pastor here in Tallahassee at the Bethel AME Church family on Orange Avenue, I am praying for our city and for the Florida State University community.
Yeah, you ever think anything would happen here when you send your daughter here?
You don't think it's going to happen, but with the level of gun violence in our country and with the level of mass shootings that occur, I think research shows that our country has more mass shootings than anywhere else on the planet. You always think in the back of your mind that someday something could happen. And a lot of anger for me comes from our policy with guns. And even in the state of Florida, how we made it easier for persons to own guns. We can't be a country that love our children and the citizens and continue to have the kind of gun policies we do. And I know everyone's going to say, no, don't rush to gun policy. Maybe some mental issues here or something, but we got to do something about that.
And you've been talking with your daughter. What has she been telling you?
She's just been real nervous because of not knowing what's going on, feeling safe, and then feeling not safe with movement from movement, and just wanting this event to be over as far as this day and to be safe again in her home with her family.
Anything else you want to add?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So the reports are saying, okay, I'm hearing 5 dead, crazy, and supposedly that, okay,
we don't know.
There were 2 shooters involved. According to law enforcement,
we know people have been sent to the hospital.
2 shooters involved. One is in custody. The other is dead. Okay.
And they're not going to speak until they have all.
See what else I can find out about that.
Yeah. All right.
How did you get out of there? Bro, when y'all left, more police came. I see that. Yeah, I'm driving, right? I see I'm driving.
Crazy, man.
I think I'm going to focus more on state government now, because we have Randy Fine's bill that died that would have allowed kids to carry.
So much going on. It's just crazy. They even try to keep up or just shootings.
Not right now. Not when kids are
Well, Carmelo Anthony stuff.
Go to the store tomorrow.
It's concerning how much
Croy Civid 67 donated $10 through Super Chat. It's concerning how much certain media narratives seem to amplify divisions within our society, particularly around racial issues.
Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. Thank you. Gerald Armstrong. I saw a video on X of a woman walking past people who were unalive drinking a Starbucks. Can someone tell me that? That's what I heard too. I was trying to see the video. I saw somebody just walking right by. I don't know if it's real or not.
Gerald Armstrong donated
try to find
$5 through Super Chat. I saw a video on X of a woman walking past people who were unalived drinking a Starbucks. Can someone tell me if that is a real video or if it's fake?
I'm gonna see if I can look at that video again.
Suspect is in custody. Suspect's in custody. What was that?
I said, praise God.
Yeah.
There was just a shooting 4 days ago, right here on Georgia Street.
Yeah.
Just 4 days ago. Tell that.
Yeah.
Jody Gator. Jody Gator.
Yeah, suspect's in custody.
Jody Gator. What is
It just says a suspect is in custody.
Yeah, because one of them, they got in custody, but they killed him.
Yeah, one of them did. One of them is arrested.
All right, so the one they...
Well, when I did the Carmelo stuff at the same time as the active shooting, I lost over 1,000-something people. Because the other day I live streamed the active situation with Chase, and that worked out really well. But today, mixing the Carmelo and this situation didn't work out good. Next time, I just have to do it different.
Yeah, it's going to say terrorist attack or something like that.
Every cop in Tallahassee here.
So 2 shooters, man. Supposedly 2 shooters.
Girl that got shot.
If I could get in there, I'd use money, but because I pull it off my phone, I can't get anywhere. They won't let me in there. The smoke
See where else I can confirm that. Yeah, we just had that high school thing. I feel like we've had multiple shootings lately by schools or at schools. Yeah, craziness, man. Yeah, you need a Icked Shooter channel. Oh my god! Seriously, with as much shootings as there is, I could literally do just a channel. There's so much. It's crazy. Okay, let me see. FSU. Well, a 2 shooter thing, I only saw one article saying that. Four hospitalized. According to law enforcement. Oh yeah, this article here.
Well, no one's talking about Hope, Florida anymore. No one knows if they ever came back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they made the dad leave. Cops were called. Yep.
6 hospitalized.
6 hospitalized.
All right, Luke Barr, thank you very much. Once again, just to recap, little afternoon.
An active shooter on the campus of Florida State University. There are 6 people reported injured, and the suspect is in custody. Police, law enforcement across the board, including the FBI, securing that campus. Let me go back to Richard Frankel. As we heard from Luke there, Richard Frankel, the former special agent in charge who joins us on incidents like this, federal government's going to be very involved here.
Yeah, it probably is a state matter in the sense of, if anyone is injured, anyone is killed, there will be murder charges, assault charges done within the state. However, federal law enforcement always assists local law enforcement in these matters. ATF is going to be running the guns immediately, finding out where they were purchased, if they were purchased legally, etc. They're going to be doing everything related to the weapon or weapons involved. And then FBI is going to be assisting with tactical if needed, but also with intelligence and the investigation. So looking at who this person is, where this person came from, what the motives are, why this happened, and assisting, if it goes to prosecution, assisting local law enforcement with the prosecution. And again, this may go federal, depending on what charges are brought. And if so, then the FBI would be working with the federal prosecutors and bring this in federal court.
All right, Richard, thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break now, and we will continue with our coverage of this shooting at Florida State University right after. Stay with us.
The news never stops.
From Tampa, we are here tonight as Hurricane Milton has just made landfall.
The surge just keeps coming up.
Right on the border between Ukraine and Russia.
We're in artillery position about 2 miles away from Gaza.
And ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
We're not far from where this rally took place, so just stick with us here.
Traveling with the president to the U.S.-Mexico border.
Here in London today.
Off the coast of Gaza.
Downtown Tel Aviv, rockets or missiles coming in.
From the most devastating disaster in Hawaii. Some areas are still smoldering.
Wherever the story.
From the front lines, in the ruins of Rafah.
From the FBI. Reporting from Capitol Hill.
In western Portugal.
Outside of Mexico City.
In Iceland. Let's go.
Here in France.
The eclipse across America.
Just stunning.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no. Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
We're going to take you there.
You're streaming.
ABC News Live. ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere because the news never stops.
It was a kidnapping, torture case.
A crime of greed and cruelty.
The men tortured the victim by beating, tasing, and burning him.
And this is where it gets really horrible. The guy was cutting off my roommates. It was like a bad dream.
This crime was horrific.
He's a psychopath.
Okay.
Thank you, McGinnis.
Yep, I can do that. I've done a couple interviews with people, so yeah, that'll work. All right, thank you.
4 a.m. Friday in Australia. Oh, okay. Thank you, McGinnis.
All right, thank you. Is that the second bus? Third? Yeah. I'm just gonna call. I'm doing local news live, so I'm just calling it broad for national audience. So. Yeah. Fish and Wildlife Commission. I'm just trying to figure out all my stations. So.
interview. I heard some shots.
You did?
Yeah, 5 shots, and then another round of 5 more shots.
Oh, wow.
And 7 shots.
Yeah. I'm about ready to go live, but I could do an interview afterwards. Okay. Thank you. Where were you?
I was in Bellamy, so the building right behind you.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with campus, so. Yeah. Okay. What? Oh, 4th bus. Okay. Hey, 30 out. What was that?
You care about recording?
I'm on national, so.
They had said every building within a mile radius of here. Wouldn't even let me pay my electric bill.
You guys on calls? Order, Greg, are you on calls? Go ahead. Greg, the second floor. Ready to clear the second floor when you clear the first floor. We're in front of 201 or the 86 floor.
Yeah, it's quite a wide range of emotions here at Florida State University. Keep in mind, this shooting happened about 2 hours ago now, and we've seen several students walk through this area. We were about a block away from where the shooting happened at the student union. We've seen many students crying and hugging each other, offering support. We've also talked with students who were on their way to campus when they saw people running away from campus, crying. They've been on lockdown here at Florida State University for about 2 hours now. I'll get out of the way. As you can see, Florida Highway Patrol troopers are going through here. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is also here helping with the scene, as well as Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, the local police, and university police as well. And so they are, again, sorting out what happened here. But again, a lot of people are pretty shaken up. A lot of people are remaining relatively calm given what happened. I talked to a parent. He's been in constant contact with his daughter for the last 2 hours, and they've been moving her inside, outside, back inside. And so, like, every time they move, her mood shifts depending upon where they're at. Now, we did see 3 or 4 buses full of students leave here to go to the other side of campus where the Unification Center is for families to pick up. That's at the Civic Center here on campus for anyone that might be watching in the Tallahassee area that might want to reunite with their loved ones. That is happening at the Civic Center. So again, it is still a very active scene here at Florida State University. Deborah. Thank you.
Thank you.
What channel is this?
I'm on WCTV, but that was for our national streaming. I'm a statewide reporter, so I'll be across the state. That's my normal job, so let alone when something like this is going. So.
Do you know a guy named Brent at work? Yeah, I think he does like the video editing or the producing of WCTV.
I've not heard that name, so. But, oh, good. Franklin. Okay, good. Hang on. I'm just checking it. I've been out of communication for a little bit.
I mean, I don't know how much my info is going to change it or do anything.
I mean, we're just collecting interviews. So yeah, but yeah, if you're happy to do an interview,
want to do one,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna force you.
No. Have you come over here? Stand about right here. Right there. All right. I'll just have you look at me. Pretend the camera's not there. First, have you say and spell your name for me, please.
Cooper, Cooper. Last name is Ugenalp, Ulgenalp.
And you're a student?
Yes, at Florida State.
What year?
Senior.
Senior.
Yeah.
And so, just talk about what happened.
Yeah, I was in class and it was about 1 o'clock and the shots rang out and we were like, is that construction going on or what was happening? And so we got up, looked out the window, and I remember looking outside and hearing 5 more shots go off. And I was like, what's going on? So I saw kids running away from the student union, and I walked away from the window. Then I walked back to the window and heard 6, 7 more shots ring out. And at that point, we were like, okay, there's a shooting going on. So we ran from our classroom, went to the offices, locked the doors, barricaded ourselves in there, and then we waited and was looking out the window again and saw the SWAT teams pull up, the police cars, the FBI come, and at that point we're like, okay, we got to bunk ourselves in, and we were praying, we're like, okay, something's got to change here, and the SWAT team came into the room. They're like, stay where you are, don't move, and we were in there for about 30 minutes, and at that point we were escorted out. About 100 SWATs were inside the building, and our hands were up, and so then we were escorted outside past the union and then into a safe space.
What was going through your mind when all this was unfolding?
Yeah, I was completely in shock. I didn't think this could happen at Florida State. I mean, we're a pretty safe campus, but yeah, this is just like unheard of to me. I never had been in a school shooting before, active shooter. This is like first time for me, and I was honestly in shock. My hands were shaking, just adrenaline kicked in, and I really didn't know what to do. I started tearing up, just like I was scared, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you just saw, you just heard the shots, you didn't see anything?
Yeah, I didn't see the shooter, but I saw the kids running away. I heard some screaming. Yeah, and the shots, like 3 rounds of like 5 shots, and then 7 shots. So it must have been some back and forth going on. Yeah.
Yeah, and how are you doing now?
Good. I've recovered a lot. A lot of people have been texting me. People from out of state, University of Michigan friends have been texting me. People from South Florida have been texting me. People from high school have been texting me. Doing a lot better. It's been a great community that has surrounded me since then. I definitely didn't think I'd be traumatized as much as I have. Definitely not being on the scene, but being kind of away from it. But yeah, it's been scary. So I'm doing a lot better now. Yeah.
That's good. Is there anything that you wish would have happened differently?
Yeah, no, I think the police responded very quickly. I think they did a great job. Yeah, I don't really know what could have happened. Maybe there's more police presence at certain areas for there not to be a shooter. I mean, I think that's just like the most obvious thing, but yeah.
All right, anything else you want to add? Anything maybe missed?
No, it's great.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Good, thank you. What was your name?
I'm Cody.
Cody?
Yes.
Cooper.
Nice to meet you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We wanted to bring you the very latest that we have on our active shooter situation happening in the state capital of Florida. Here's what we know so far. 6 people have been taken to the hospital. One of those individuals is in critical condition. Now, this all started to unfold around noon. Police say that one person is in custody. It happened on the campus of Florida State University. Somewhere near the student union building is what we're understanding. Police have not released any names, but we can tell you also that the FBI is on scene, as well as Florida State Police, and of course local authorities as well. We're still waiting for more information to come into us. We started hearing about it, but we can tell you that a person is in custody. Again, 6 people have been taken to the hospital. We understand that they are students that were on campus. The campus was active at the time that all of this happened. So very active scene. We're still talking to people, our associates, our affiliates. They're in Florida, still gathering more information on that. We're staying on top of it as well as here. But again, this happened around noon, sometime just afternoon, if you will, on the campus of Florida State University. near the Student Union building, as we understand. Again, the person that's in custody, we do not know if he has been identified as the shooter. Right now, he is being considered a suspect, a person of interest, but he has not been officially named the shooter in this case. We're also waiting to see if authorities are looking for more than one shooter, but that information has not been confirmed to have multiple people involved. It appears right now that it is just one that they are concentrating their efforts on. As the video was coming in, we can let you know that we saw students hiding. There are reports of also students that were finding wherever they could take cover at any place. This, of course, meant buildings on the campus. This, of course, meant bushes, if you will, because Florida State's campus is very active and very spread out with that. We're going to show you more video as I continue to bring you up to speed with a couple of other things that we're learning at this time. We can also let you know that the president has been involved. He's made a few comments that we're working to turn that around for you also. Our affiliates are talking to students who were present at the time that all of this unfolded, so we're gathering that information as well. But if you're just joining us, we want to thank you for being with us as we continue to update you on this. Again, if you're tuning in right now or listening right now, this happened around noon in Tallahassee, Florida, the state capital, Florida State University. An active shooter situation. It is still classified as that. It has not been downgraded that we are aware of. We will certainly let you know about that. Now, Florida State University is one of 12 public universities in Florida. There are about 44,000 students that attend the campus as of our understanding right now, as of this school year. Again, 6 people have been hospitalized. One of those persons is in critical condition. We do not know if it's a student or if it's a worker at the staff. We're also getting information from our affiliates as well as the Associated Press telling us more information about that. Again, the governor is also responding, sending his prayers, posting on social media. Our prayers are with everyone involved. We will keep updating as we learn more. The president has also been involved, has been briefed, if you will. He's also making comments on X saying that he's fully briefed. It's a horrible thing. Horrible things like this take place. Again, that's coming from President Trump. The extent of the victim's injuries is not known to us. Again, of the 6, one we understand is in critical condition. And we're still talking to people. We're still gathering more information now. Several students that have found themselves in a position to talk to our affiliates are letting us know where they were, what they heard, what they saw. Again, the FBI, likely the lead investigator on this situation, has been involved and is on the scene, assisted by Florida State Police as well as the local authorities there in Tallahassee. Continue to stay with us for the very latest. Our newsroom is fully staffed, and we're also waiting for more information to come in to us as we have it here, so we're staying on top of that. It's a very fluid situation, as you might imagine, because of the pieces that are involved, if you will, because of the information that's coming in, because it's active. A lot of this is going to be coming in. Some of it can change. Understand that. But it's been going on now for about 2 hours or so, just a little bit under 2 hours, if you will, that this started to come in and to unfold. But for right now, one person is in custody, according to the authorities on scene. 6 people taken to the hospital. Again, we're not sure if they are students and or faculty, but one of those individuals is in critical condition. The president, the governor, Attorney General Pam Bondi also making comments, all denouncing what happened there. Still not much is known about the person taken into custody, if he has been in fact identified as the shooter. But again, one person, according to the authorities there on the scene, is in fact in custody. A very active situation. We can tell you that several blocks have been cordoned off to allow this to take place. It is our understanding, according to the Associated Press, that this shooting took place on the campus near the Student Union building. Again, 44,000 or so students attend the campus. We're not sure how many of that number were actively on the campus when this all began to unfold. Again, right now, that is the latest that we have. We're still waiting for more information. I'm going to go to one of our other video channels and share that with you, just to let you know a little bit more about what I'm seeing and passing that along to you in 1 second. And thank you so much for staying with us as we continue to monitor this situation as it is developing right now for about 2 hours or so going on there. If you're just tuning in to us, I thank you. I'm Antoine Lewis reporting to you from our Fox station in Midtown, New York, the Upper East Side of New York. Again, this is an active shooter situation happening right now on Florida State University's campus. One person is in custody. 6 people have been taken to the hospital. One of those individuals is in critical condition. All levels of government have been notified, have been briefed, and are responding. Some on social media. We know that the president has responded. The Governor DeSantis, has also responded. The Attorney General Pam Bondi also making comments, all sending thoughts and prayers to the individuals that have been impacted by this situation, which is still fluid, which is still ongoing at this time. Again, one person is in custody. We have not learned what role this individual has been playing in this situation, but authorities acting pretty quickly. They got onto the scene a short time after the first call started coming in, sometime around noon. Eastern Standard Time is when that took place. Again, the individual is taken to the hospital. The extent of those injuries, we do not know. Once again, we don't know if they are students or if they are faculty or a combination of the two, but we're working to get that information. As you might imagine, pieces are involved. Our crews on the scene are moving around. They're getting into place for news conferences and for updates and other information that takes place in situations like this. Parents, we would imagine you hear something like this, they're very upset, very concerned as they have children that are there. So as we get information, we're still trying to confirm if any other students have been impacted. Right now, what we're hearing is that only 6 individuals, possibly a mix of students and or faculty, 6 persons have been taken to the hospital. One of those, again, in critical condition. Suspect taken into custody, a little bit more about that individual. A person that was speaking to our affiliate said that they saw this person taken into custody, one in serious condition. Shooting happened just minutes from the state capitol building. That's also new to us coming in as well. So we're staying on top of this. This is the very latest that we have for you as we continue to look. Can let you know that we see officers now. If you're watching the video, you can see that is a firearm that he's carrying there that's being discharged, that he is holding in his hand. You can see that right there. The campus, as you might imagine, has been placed on lockdown, which is typical in situations like this when you have a scenario where there is an active shooter taking place across the campus there. Just monitoring that, not sure which layer of government this individual is that our camera is on right now, but you can see that he had his weapon out. Again, this is in response to what's happening on the campus. If you're just tuning in, this all began to develop around noon. Reports of an active shooter situation on the campus, bringing about all levels of government there. FBI is on scene, state police are on scene, assisting local authorities. In a situation like this, likely the FBI is probably the lead investigator in this matter. 44,000 students are on the campus enrolled in Florida State. Not sure how many of those were there because spring break considerations are also something to take into consideration given this particular week. That's what's going on there. One person is in custody. We do not have a whole lot of information on that individual, but again, our team here is monitoring. Our team is also in contact with our associates and our affiliates in Florida. That person in custody, not much known about. We're still waiting for more information on that. The individuals that were taken to the hospital, 6 of those, 1 in critical, still waiting to find out a little bit more about that. We also want you to get more information on our Fox Local app. For to stay on top of that as well. We want to make sure that everyone knows what we know as we're bringing it to you in real time as we get it in ourselves. If you are just tuning in, we do not have any identifications of anyone. I know that's a tough thing to hear in a situation like this, but there are a lot of moving parts going on, and the priority is that to get medical attention to those individuals that have been hurt. And of course, 6 have been, we've been told that 6 are the number of people that have been taken to the hospital, 1 in critical, but no other information nor the extent of those injuries has been made available to us. The shooting took place not very far from the state capitol, which is where Florida State is in Tallahassee. Also, we're understanding the Associated Press is reporting that the shooting took place near the Student Union building there on the campus. Not sure how busy it was, but at noon on a nice day, like it usually is in Florida, you might imagine that it was a pretty active scene, if you will, with people moving back and forth, students and or other individuals there on the campus. Now, in a social media post, FBI Director Kash Patel said that he and his team have been briefed on the shooting. Agents from the Jacksonville field office have been on scene, have been dispersed there, and, quote, "We will provide full support to local law enforcement as needed. Please keep the FSU community in your prayers." Governor DeSantis also chiming in on social media. "Our prayers are with our FSU family, and state law enforcement is actively responding." Again, the president has been briefed on this. He's also decrying it, saying it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible things like this that take place. This coming from his own meeting there in the Oval Office that he has with Italian dignitaries and a separate matter going on involving trades and tariffs. But right now, again, we're looking at the scene. See at least one ambulance there. That whole area has been cordoned off, as you might imagine. Not sure the exact radius of it, but usually in situations like this, particularly in a lockdown situation, they will go a mile, maybe a mile or two in and around just to ensure the safety of the community that's surrounding it, as well as the persons that are on the campus still. And as information was coming into us, before I even stepped to you myself, was reading a couple of things and saw that some of the students were hiding once they heard shots in buildings. They started running for cover and things like that, things that you might imagine in a situation like this to take place. If you're just joining us once again, active shooter situation happening on the campus of Florida State University in the state capital, Tallahassee. This all began around noon, a little thereafter, when the first reports started coming in. Shooting, from what we understand, the Associated Press is reporting that it took place near the Student Union building. 6 people have been taken to the hospital. We do not know any names. We have not received any identification on those persons, but one of those that we understand is in critical condition. Let's look again to see how we're changing our video. 1 second, if you will. Just going to give you a different shot there. And again, this is just one of the points where the cordon has been, where that's been cordoned off, where that is taking place. And as you can see, moving around right, that in a situation like this, it is possible. No traffic will be allowed in or out of that radius. Foot traffic, all of that's also brought to a stop. Many of the students may have been just walking up to the campus and then just trying to figure out what's going on, and you see a heavy presence, if you will. Florida State, in and of itself, from my understanding and what we're reading, did alert the students that something was going on. Not sure what the extent of that was, but generally, universities and schools and colleges, things like that, tend to have in place a notification system, likely through social media, perhaps, or individual phones, where they will alert that there is something going on campus. Generally, they'll say not to come or just whatever information they can give. But it seems like the university right now is on lockdown and is responding to the commands of the authorities, who are certainly in charge of what is going on there right now. So students and faculty were instructed to continue to seek shelter and then to await further instructions, which is generally the case that happens in this. Florida State University is one of Florida's 12 public universities. 44,300 is the number of students enrolled at that particular campus. And this is coming from the school's 2024 fact sheet. One person in critical, still don't know the extent of the injuries. 6 taken to the hospital. Suspect has been taken into custody, and they told you that just now. No additional details about that person that's coming on. Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a social media post that the Justice Department is now in touch with FBI agents who are on the scene. She wrote on X, "Our priority is the safety of everyone involved, and we will keep updating as we learn more, praying for all." Kash Patel, FBI director, again saying that agents from Jacksonville's office are at the school providing support to local law enforcement. Governor DeSantis is also responding on social media, saying our prayers are with our FSU family, and state law enforcement is actively responding. Ambulances, fire trucks, everything that you might imagine is on scene, because you've given the magnitude of what's going on. And there you can see one of the ambulances there. Multiple law enforcement agencies are there, all responding. The alert was issued by the university midday today. And again, hundreds of students streamed away, being led away from the Student Union building. Student video shows of the students that they were going on. They were glued to their campuses at 3 there was going on as we're still monitoring that. Now, this system that we're coming to you is actually new to us, so we're trying to make sure that we connect with you as we try to bring you information and updates in real time. So I want to thank you for working with us and for giving us the freedom, if you will, to be a little fluid in these situations, because it is unfolding and it is still developing. And we just want to make sure that we are bringing you immediate information as soon as we can, and just to keep that connection there, as it is what we are charged with doing. So if you're just watching, if you're just developing, just tuning into us now, active shooter situation on the campus of Florida State University started just after noon. The Associated Press is reporting that the shooting took place near the Student Union building. There are about 44,000 students on the campus, 44,000 students enrolled, if you will, at FSU. 6 people were taken to the hospital. One of those persons is in critical condition. The extent of the injuries, again, we do not know or have that information. We're still working on that. The president, the attorney general, the FBI, the governor, all have been briefed, all are weighing in, whether it be on social media posts or through other communications. One person has been taken into custody. He has been identified as a suspect. That's what the Associated Press is reporting, that he has been identified as a suspect, but no further information has been made available about that individual. Now, let's see, Leroy, having a question. We want to bring that in. Any idea that they're almost done searching the rooms? Leroy, thank you for your question. We have not gotten that information yet, but in a situation like this, searching the rooms, searching the dorms, searching the campuses, searching all of that's going to happen. And even though they have one person in custody, that does not mean that there may not be another individual involved, or depending upon the weapon, if there are other munitions or other weapons, if you will, all of this is what's going to be searched. You know, just in scenarios like these, there can be, you know, a car perhaps with something in it. There could be like another bag or something with it. You know, a lot of the unknowns, Leroy, that are coming in. We thank you so much. Anyone else, if you have a question about it, we're trying to answer it as best we can, but we certainly want to encourage that type of engagement with us if you happen to have that. I'll recap, which I'll be doing quite often just because of the number of people who may just be tuning in. This all began on the campus of Florida State around noon. An active shooter situation. The university sent out an alert. 6 people were taken to the hospital. One of those persons is in critical condition. Police have a suspect in custody. They are identifying him as a suspect, but that's as far as the identification goes. They have not released any other details. We can tell you how active the scene is right now. Students are milling around, but it's been blocked off. The campus is likely in the scenario, no one's being allowed in or out unless they have official business or unless they are given permission by the authorities, by the officials on scene to go. But in a situation where there is an active shooter, and that's still how they are classifying the situation, generally that means no one outside of law personnel, law enforcement, are the ones that would be allowed to be moving about as they are doing, as Leroy asked, searching campuses, searching rooms, searching dorms, looking for any other information to help them in this investigation. 6 people taken to the hospital. 44,300 students attend the campus, attend that particular school. I'm not sure the number of those that were on campus.
What's going on,
Pips? A couple of backpacks, a couple of students milling around. 1 ambulance is there. Again, several other vehicles with other information. 2 ambulances, actually, that I see now.
Who did this?
Certainly the entrances to that campus should be blocked. Again, only for law enforcement or first and emergency responders being allowed in. The president calling this horrible, a horrible thing he said.
President.
Things like this is horrible when they take place. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, saying that he and his team have been briefed. Agents from the Jacksonville field office have been dispatched to the location there at Florida State to assist local law enforcement as well. State police are there. The governor also responding on the social media channel X, posting that our prayers are with our FSU family, and state law enforcement is actively responding. And Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, also posting on social media that the Justice Department is involved and is in touch with the FBI agents who are on the scene.
Scary footage shows police begging to be led into a classroom during campus. It's not clear if it was actually the police or not,
One person,
as the safe word was not used to identify.
very much more.
Let's take a look at this video.
And no information also on the victims. 6 have been named, 6 have been identified as victims, I should say, and only one that we understand is in critical condition. The very latest that we have is still a fluid attack going on there as we watch. One officer there in front, if you're looking at the video right now, they're starting to block off the area there, starting to put the barricades in place. This again to discourage anybody.
It's pretty scary because you don't know if it's like the shooters pretending to be cops.
You see that individual, that car.
5 dead, 4 injured.
Anyone who does not have anything other than what's going on right now. And also we have crews on scene. You may see a gentleman in a white shirt holding the mic. He's one of our affiliates there. We will go to him as soon as we get information that he is in fact ready to give us a report. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, an active shooter situation still ongoing. Florida State's campus in Tallahassee. Several cars now moving in. We're monitoring that as well. You can tell by the lights in the back, those are official vehicles and making their way in and about. The Associated Press is reporting that the shooting took place near the Student Union building on the campus, and the campus in and of itself is not very far from the state capitol building there in Tallahassee, Florida. The governor, the president, the attorney general, FBI, all levels of government have been notified, have been briefed, and are making comments denouncing this. We're still waiting for more information on the people involved. This includes the one person that was taken into custody, who authorities are identifying as the suspect in this case, as well as the 6 individuals taken to the hospital, who they are and what role they may have played on the campus, whether they were students or whether they were faculty. All of this is information that we're still waiting to come into us. This started to unfold around noon. A little thereafter, the university sent out an alert saying that there was an active shooter situation, discouraging students from coming to campus, clearly because of what was going on in this context, in this situation. I want to let you know also, as we're waiting, anyone, if you have a question, we ask you to reach out to us. Now, as you're looking right now, you see that one of our affiliates standing there in the shirt, perhaps is getting in place to do exactly what I'm doing right now, give an update, but his would be, of course, through his television station, as opposed to how we're doing it there. So once he starts to speak, I will stop talking and we will listen into what he is saying and what information he's gathering from there on the scene. Likely what's happening right now, all of the heads of the agencies involved that are responding are getting into place. They're very much in a room being briefed, because at some point they will then have to come out to do the official news conference, where they will then inform us, meaning the responding press and the responding media outlets, on what they know, what has been confirmed, what can be reported, and then take a few questions to the extent that they can provide answers given what's going on right now. And it is still fluid in that situation, knowing that it's going to be happening. We will be staying on top of this. We will continue to bring you updates through this capacity, also on the app. And we also encourage you to watch your local station for the very latest on the situation. Before I go, just to recap, 6 people have been taken to the hospital, 1 in critical condition. Police have identified that they have a person in custody. They're calling him a suspect. No other information has been given about that individual. We thank you so much for being with us. We certainly want to keep you updated, so we implore you to follow all of our social media channels as well as online for the very latest information on this situation. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your day.
For the reunification center. Now, again, this shooting is like all other school shootings, getting attention. The president had put out a statement recently that he is monitoring the situation. Lawmakers are about a mile away from here at the Capitol for the legislative session, and they are putting out their statements as well. Governor Ron DeSantis posted on X earlier that his thoughts and prayers are with the FSU family and state law enforcement. Speaker Perez, who is a graduate of Florida State University, says that this is a parent's worst nightmare, and they're continuing to monitor the situation, urging thoughts and prayers for students, families, faculty, first responders, and all involved. Representative Gallup Franklin, the Democrat that represents
University. Thank you very much, everybody. And I've been briefed on the Florida State University, Tallahassee active shooting. I guess it's an active shooter. Fully briefed as to where we are right now. It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place. And we'll have more to say about it later. Thank you very much, everybody. And I've been briefed on the
Oh, I was muted. Thank you guys. Sorry. Oh shit. I was having a conversation with myself, talking to myself.
Live will for building to building throughout this process. It's just horrifying experience for these kids. Not only the ones who saw something horrific today, but also the ones who have just been on that campus and probably, as you can imagine, scared to death. But yeah, she says we are walking over right now to where they are taking her, and they're going to hopefully be meeting up with her. So at least some of these kids will be able to come home. And we are hearing, yes, now that campus will be closed tomorrow as well, Jamie. And as you mentioned, maybe even to part of next week.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I mean, now that we're hearing bits and pieces coming out on the injuries and the number of shots that were heard. So, you know, I would suggest it's going to be a huge crime scene. It's going to be a great, huge undertaking for law enforcement to go back and kind of rebuild and put the puzzle back together to figure out how this happened. But, you know, I can promise you this. There are investigators right now that are getting search warrants. They're getting data search warrants for devices from the bad guy or the shooter in this case. You know, the question has to be answered. What was the motive for this? So, you know, as we're seeing this play out on live TV, there's certainly in the background investigators working hard behind the scenes to secure search warrants. And, you know, they've got to find a motive for why this occurred.
This conversation too often,
Jamie, the
right?
other thing.
It happens again. You know, I have college-age girls, and it's a horrible, horrible incident. What I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, I've already spoken to several FBI agents on the ground. They're working hand in hand, and like all your other guests have said, working hand in hand with the local officials, the state police, the county, Florida State Police, Florida State University Police have done a fantastic job. The response from what I'm hearing was immediate, responsive, right to the threat situation, and they handled this situation. There is one in custody, to what I understand, and I believe one is deceased. But concerning most is there were two shooters. That
Two
is,
shooters.
and I believe one of your other guests had mentioned this. I believe the homicide detective from Washington, D.C. This was a planned event. This wasn't happenstance. It wasn't somebody who got mad at the last minute. That this was planned and done with a purpose. I don't know if the targets were planned of who they were looking to hurt. Was it anybody or was it specific? Law enforcement's going to find that out. And we're going to find out a lot more once the investigation continues. And as multiple guests have already said, and I'll reiterate it, they got to slow it down now. The incident is now what we believe is over. And now the investigation really starts. And that's with social media, you know, bank records, phone records, internet records. They're going to look at everything. And we're going to work hand in hand. The FBI will work hand in hand. And as we always like to say, the local guy.
There's some video they're saying appears to be what appears to be. New video appears to show a shooter with a pistol at FSU. Take a look at this. Where's the guy supposed to be at? Is it supposed to be this guy here? I don't know. So is the other suspect dead? The other shooter's dead? One custody, one dead? Maybe they'll be able to question the one that's dead. I wonder if they had a pact to unalive themselves. Oh, press conference. All right, cool. What I'm going to do is well, let me see. Do I have notifications? I think I might take a little break and then we'll come back and cover the press conference. I feel like I lost the people with me leaving and having to pick up my daughter and Carmelo, all that stuff. Let me see. Do I have a presser? I mean, a notification? Oh, you know what I should do? I know what I'll do. I'll make a live stream now for later. I'll redirect you guys so you have the thing. And I'll come back in a little while. I don't know if I have a notification then, but let me just do that real quick. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Damn, man. 5 dead.
To take that off and get in his car. We still don't know, as we have just been talking about, don't know the status of kind of where things stand right now. Here's another live image where we know still very much an active scene here in Tallahassee. But just kind of walk us through the next few hours. We talked about what investigators would be doing immediately, obviously finding and stopping the shooter and taking care of the lives and some of the evidence that they'd be looking for. If you could kind of walk us through the next steps of this, because we've seen some of those mobile crime units and like you talked about, this is going to be potentially a crime scene for a while. So what is kind of the next steps in an investigation into something like this? As we watch this live picture, we still see a flood of students kind of walking down this walkway here.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to usher these students out of the immediate area of the crime scene, Garrett, so they can keep and preserve that crime scene. We see an unmarked vehicle. I would assume it's probably a police vehicle blocking off part of the road. That's to prevent any onlookers that would want to come in and look to see what's going on. You know, we call them looky-loos, if you will. So they've got the campus locked down. The next phase is you're going to start rounding up the students that either heard or saw something, and you're going to start.
All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll come back for a press conference and some other official updates. All right, see you guys. I have it set for 4. I'll see you guys at 4, okay? Take a little mini break. Subscribe, hit the like button. See you guys then. Bloop, 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 bloop. And be nice to each other.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops